Check.
Checkity check. And I'm back, and a checkity check.
Checkity check. And now we're finally recording from the microphone. Tables on a microphone.
We're rolling.
Riding. Then we're going to get me clutching dirty.
Hold on a second. Okay, talk.
Now I'm talking, and I'm rolling, and I'm riding dirty, and I'm clutching dirty. Clash Clans Podcast, episode 93. And we're rolling dirty. And we're back with the Clash Clans with the fans of Scotty and Boneyard. I'm here with my pal Scotty. Hey, Scotty.
Hey,
We're back after a little bit of break. I've been on vacation, and we're talking all things Clash Clans at ClashClansPodcast.com down here at the WBSMT Radio Studios.
And we have a lot to talk about.
I actually brought notes, plenty of notes, copious amounts of notes. So, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. That's good.
It's been a busy couple weeks.
Yeah, it really has.
And we haven't really caught up since the update.
No, since that was the last time we recorded. We actually recorded two episodes. One of them went up, but the other one didn't go up right away. And since it was mostly speculation on the update, which people figured out,
and there's
it got canned.
Other podcasts.
Some things we're going to some things we've got to recap from that. Just where
probably how stupid we would have sounded too, because I was like, "Oh man, can you imagine if you do this?"
I wonder if this will work. Like, but then you know what happened though? Most of that stuff that we were thinking turned out to be the case. Like that's a lot of this, even in that first episode. Oh, poison would be great for luring out CCs. Yeah, that's the thing.
And I thought I was going to have to do a lot of editing because we're just sitting like, what about that?
Yeah. Well, the second episode is always a little slower in the brain, as it were.
Yeah. Well, we're always slow in the brain right here.
Excuse me. And I've been gone on vacation. Went to the BWCA, the Boundary Waters canoe area. I don't know what the C and the A stand for.
Yeah.
That's what it is?
Wildlife area?
Boundary Waters. No, it's definitely Boundary Waters.
Yeah.
Camping? Canoe?
Oh, I was okay. Yeah.
Canoe. Area?
Yeah, canoe area.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
We canoed. It was an area.
That's what people do there.
Yeah. It was rough.
Okay.
Well, it was super, super fun. But at one point I was scared for my life and only got hurt a little bit at a different time. So it turned out pretty good. Plus there was lots of drinking.
Nice. So basically you hauled in a lot of stuff and came back a lot lighter, on your way there, because you have to all your beer that you took.
No, we took no beer. You got to think about weight versus
that's
power.
what I was thinking. I'm like, well, you guys could probably all had kegs strapped to your back.
Well, we brought bottles, 1.75s. I went to Sam's Club, got myself two, one of vodka, one of rum, Ron Diaz. $24 or something for two 1.75 liters at Sam's Club. Fucking go there and shop that shit. I mean, that's ridiculous prices. You haul in all your stuff, all your food, and then you make sure you have none of that coming back. You eat the weight. That was one of the things.
More on Clash in a bit.
Yeah, we'll get back to the Clashing. Right now,
we'll come back to.
We'll talk all about that too. Is that where we should start? You want to hear about my vacation?
Yeah,
I didn't tell you once I got here because I haven't seen it. So
since we have hostages,
all right. So the Boundary Waters, we go up there. We drive up to the top of the Gunflint Trail. It's about 3 hours north of Grand Marais, north of 2 hours and all that. Top of the Gunflint Trail, the last 30 miles is gravel road. There's a camping area. We camped there, beers and steaks. Got up at dawn. Had a good night. Beers and slept in the truck. I slept on the ground in my tent.
And by
People
dawn, you mean 3 p.m.
Well, no. At dawn, we got up because when you're camping, you go to bed pretty much after dark because it's there's no light.
That's when the fire starts.
Well, that's the fire. Yeah, we cooked some steaks. We got it done, but we wanted to get up early and get out there. We got out on the water in the morning. And it starts out terrible for me. We get on the water. Well, we rolled dice to see who was going to be with who in which boat, right? There's 3 boats. The Kevlar, which is
nobody wanted to be in the same boat with you.
A couple of people were like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "I'm a good canoeer. I know what I'm doing."
Were you the last one picked?
No, it was dice. It was random.
Who gets stuck with Boneyard?
Well, I brought a boat. I brought the Argo as my dad's 17,
I saw that at your house.
17-foot aluminum canoe. It's fucking awesome in the water. We brought Brent's Kevlar and called it the Kevlar, and it's a 17-foot Kevlar. And then we brought this 14-foot green plastic hunk of shit we called it the pickle, the fickle pickle. And I rolled the dice, and I was in the pickle. I'm like, okay, I don't know. And I'd never been in this canoe before. It hasn't been on a trip with us before. It's Josh's canoe. Josh wasn't even there. Well, Josh in his stupid canoe tried to kill me. I'm in, my buddy Eric's in the back. We go out there. Well, right away, it's the slowest boat, and it's the shortest boat. Well, you have to go through this little bottleneck where the current is coming at you. And you got to paddle hard to get out of this little bay where you put into. And we kept coming at it at an angle, and this thing is it's slow. And we couldn't get it up there. And we tried because we had to go through the shore on one side, which is a big, huge rock, big cliff, and then a big rock in the middle. So you got to go right through where it's the fastest and the deepest.
Did it sink?
No, we couldn't. We kept coming at it, and then it would just the current would catch us and slam us into that rock, and we'd back up and try again. We tried it 3 or 4 times. I'm like, listen, I'm just pull me over to the shore. I'm just going to walk us through. I'll just get out. And I stuck my leg over. And I stepped on the rock, and
everybody's waiting for you.
Well, no, they're out in the water. Yeah, they've started their journey, across the rest of the part of the lake, because these lakes are miles long. They're huge bodies of water. I step out onto a rock, slip, and then it's like 12 feet deep. So I'm like stepping out of the canoe, and then I slip, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like almost tipped this whole canoe over. So I just let go and went bloop, and just basically went in.
Where's your iPhone at this point?
In a Ziploc bag in my pack.
Okay.
Yeah. I brought it with. It kept turning itself on, so it died immediately because the button kept getting bumped by stuff in the pack. It's all. Yeah. And so it died almost immediately. So I couldn't take pictures with it. So I'm in up to my neck, bloosh, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I basically I'm swimming with the canoe, and I get it around the corner, and I get back in, and we get out there, and he's like, hey, man, thanks for, really going after it. I'm like, hey, well, I'm not going to tire myself out trying to get out of this thing. I'm just going to get wet. It was a sunny day, and it was kind of windy. Well, kind of windy until we got out into the lake, and it was hella windy. This is my near-death experience for the trip. We get out there, and of course, the other 2 boats are just faster. They're longer. They're able to handle the water better. Both of them have a bow in the front. Yeah, it's the bow in the front, right? Yeah. That are up higher, like they're pointed up, like angled up a little bit. The pickle's just flat. So we're going out there, and we're going from along the shore and then to island to the backside, stay out of the wind. And everybody's just like, get to the island, wait for us, and then they keep going. And we're like, oh, we don't get a break. Come, all right, let's just go. Paddling like mad. And we probably went a mile, we're getting tired going into the wind. And then we had to cross this big, Seagull Lake is where we went in. We had to cross this big open expanse. Like we have to go across it. There's no other thing. So we start, and as we get in the middle, that wind is going, and those rollers coming at us, big, huge waves rolling. Well, it started getting a little scary. Like we had all our stuff bungeed in to start with. It was all, in there. I'm like, okay. So nothing would blow out because it was so windy. We're canoeing, and then all of a sudden I realized that these waves are so big that when I'm in the front, and when I go down the wave, the front of the canoe is like below the level of the water, and I'm like, please come up, and it's coming up. I finally figured out that I had to paddle as fast as I could, but just in the top, the crest.
And which boat were you on, the Argonaut?
No, I'm in the pickle.
Okay,
I brought the Argo and didn't even get to be in it.
Sail
and then so
sail the storm in the Argo.
Well.
Boneyard and the Argonauts.
Paddling as fast as I could across to keep the nose of the canoe up above the next wave. And finally, I'm like, dude, I got 4 inches on my feet back here. And he's like, I got 6 inches back here, which means in the middle of the boat, there's like 10 inches of water. All of our shit is soaked by this point. And our friends are gone. They have made it up to the island across to the shore. And they see us coming, like, okay.
Did anybody see where those guys went?
Basically, they went around the backside of the island, and we went. They kept going along the shore, and we went to the island, and we had to unpack.
Like the kids at the end of.
We turned. We were like
Great Outdoors. Did anybody see where the twins went?
Yeah, they went down in a cave.
They're down in a cave.
Well, that's what happened. We were like, okay, we can't do this. Like, we can't get across. We're only halfway, so we turn and aim for this island. And we figured out that going diagonally across these waves was a little better because you could ride them a little bit. If we were totally sideways, it would have just tipped us right over.
Yeah.
So we get to that island, and we're just like, oh, my God. And we pull everything out of the canoe, packs and tents and all our shit, and dump it out. And there's gallons of water in the bottom of this thing. Put it all back together, and we're looking at each other like, Christ, wow, it's fucking scary. And I'm like, yeah, in retrospect, we thought, I could swim really good. he could swim really good. Our life jackets weren't bungeed in. We weren't wearing them, of course, like idiots. But they were right under our seats. So if we went in, you grab that thing and you go in the water. You hold on to the canoe. The canoe won't sink. It'll just be, it'll just be in the water, and it'll fill up, and everything will be bungeed in.
Yeah.
But the canoe won't actually sink to the bottom. And you just, basically what you do is you just hang on to the canoe and let the wind push you back to the shore. It might take 2 hours, but you'd be fine. You'd be safe. You wouldn't die.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that at the time. I was thinking, fucking wrong, Jesus Christ. So we get there, and oh man,
I'm trying to look up Player One to invite you to the war.
Okay, well,
while you're talking,
while I'm talking,
yeah.
We get around the island, and there's all our friends sitting on this huge rock. Like it's just a teeny little island.
Cocktails.
No, yeah, they're bumping off some Fireball and jumping in the water and swimming.
Eating your cupcakes.
There you are. We hadn't seen them for an hour, and they're like, oh, well, what are we gonna do? Go back? Nah. They're just waiting to see us float back by them or something. So we get out and we're like, Jesus Christ. So we waited there for a while and had a few bumps and did our thing. Got across the rest of Seagull Lake, and we were like, this, it sucks. We didn't have any more big waves, but it was slow and tough. And our first portage was 108 rods, 16 feet to a rod. That's how you measure that shit back then. I don't know. Back when there was voyageurs and shit like that. So 108 rods, which is only like a quarter mile. Oh. But it's up and down some pretty rocky terrain, Carried the canoes, carried all our shit. Got to the next island, and you're like, oh my God, and the wind is just right in our face. So we portaged.
Boneyard's diary from the book.
We portaged 4 times across 3 big lakes and 1 small lake. And then we got to the 5th lake. And 15 miles we went into the bush, into the wind, the whole fucking time.
Crocodile Dundee before.
Exactly, yeah. But straight into the wind the whole time. We're going down the thing. We're like, okay, we have to turn around this island and go up that way. And then you turn around the island, and the wind's in your face again. Like, what is happening? It just turns around the island, wherever we're going. And we were fully out of gas by the time we got to Ogish was the lake we were staying on. Ogish is Ogishimagwashimagwan, or some crazy super long name. The Ogish. It's a 2.5 mile long lake. It's pretty long and skinny, and we got to get from where we started to the other end. To the far end is where we're going. Our campground was on the second to last island. That's what we knew.
And you call this a vacation?
Yeah. Once we got there, it gets better. But this is fucking work. So we get out there, and we get all the way across, and we're just out of gas. And I come around an island, and 2 of the guys are at a campsite, out of the canoe, looking around at it, like, is this the campsite we want?
You were stuck in the pickle.
Well, and here's the thing: the pickle didn't have GPS. The other 2 guys had the other 2 canoes had a GPS. So we were like, just don't lose us. Immediately we're gone and we're almost sunk. And they're like, we have no fucking clue. We could have made it back. Like at least we weren't far enough to we could have got back to the trucks and just camped at the damn campsite.
You're like the kid without any safety gear.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like I'm glad I had a fucking life jacket. We get all the way down to.
Are you sure these guys were your friends?
Yeah, they were. See, they were having just as much of a tough time too. They were fucking paddling hard, but those boats were just a little bit faster and better in the water.
Just leave him. Yeah. Just leave him.
They'll be fine. They got food. They got tent.
Just go.
Yeah, well, they're just roughing
it. They'd want them to save ourselves.
Well, we get to the far end of the Ogish, and these guys are stopped, and the other canoe are like, I think this is it. They're on the lake. And then the other canoe's like, I think it's around the corner. I'm like, fuck it, let's go around the corner. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, I'm not out of gas yet. And we're not in the wind at the moment because we're between 2 little islands. We come around the corner, and we were rewarded with 15 miles of in your face with the coolest fucking campsite I've ever seen in my life. I've been camping all kinds of places around. Yeah. It was a big rock.
Was that your destination?
Well, it was the campsite that they stopped at was the campsite that they had been told about, not the one that we found.
No, but I mean, is that your destination of the whole trip?
Yeah, we once we got there, we stayed there the whole time. Okay, it was a base camp.
Okay, before your summit to Everest.
Right, yeah. And so we got around the corner. It was a big rock beach, maybe 40 feet across, 50 feet across. That just rose up at a nice angle up out of the, and so the one side was
rocks are going to be fucking uncomfortable underneath the tent tonight.
But well, here's the thing: on the one side it was woods, and the other side it was a cliff. So
perfect place for a lot of people drinking a lot of alcohol.
You're fucking right. We were jumped off that thing for the whole week. That was great. Yeah, we kept getting more and more dangerous. We were jumping up down by the water, and then you're like, I'm going to jump over. You go up a few feet and it gets a little higher. Like, I'm going to jump over this tree.
Somebody, don't play with fire.
And then you get to the big cliff, and you had to run and jump to beat the rocks down there. And you're high enough that even you could almost fall off and still travel forward enough.
Yeah.
To not hit the rocks.
Boys, if we get drunk and fall, are we going to kill ourselves?
But here's the thing. There was a tree down there in the water. So you're like, oh, am I going to get fucking raked by that branch? Because I'm going in feet first.
You would even chance that?
Well, of course we did. As the days went by, I got risky. I'm going to jump and grab that
I
branch.
hope I don't hit that stump.
Yeah, we're like, I'm going to jump into the canoe from here. So, it's a big cliff that goes, or a big rock beach, and then one side's a cliff, the other side just goes up into the woods. And then it travels up until you get about 30. The cliff was about 30 or 40 feet, and that's where the fire ring was, and that's where the woods started up on top. A couple of tent pads, bunch of trees, and then a trail back to the shitter. There was 6 of us. Only 2 of us, me and another guy, had tents. The other guys had hammock tents. So they were kind of ranged all over in the woods between trees where there was trails and stuff. So that was pretty cool. We had plenty of room. I got a before picture. I got the pictures, and I will post them on the chats and stuff and
the Twitter
and the Twitter. But I ended up with
what you had, like one of the...
I had a disposable waterproof camera that Lady B had for 5 years in it. And it worked. It worked, but I got...
Are you sure it worked?
Well, I got the pictures developed.
Well,
and that's the thing.
So the only pictures of your trip that you took, because you wanted to take pictures...
Some pictures,
is on a chancy camera that you hope it...
Well, yeah. The last time I went, we took one picture. We were on the top of this giant cliff, and we
I thought you wanted to document your experience in the wild.
we did some
in the bush.
The only pictures that turned out were when it was super sunny. If there was any kind of darkness, it was crap. You wind it up, wait, and go click. And I'm like, I feel like I'm 12. I don't even get to see the picture for weeks. Like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
But that you took some pictures, yeah.
I think that camera still works?
I took a before picture of all the booze. Like, I'm like, hey, everybody, put your booze in this pile over here. And it's all lined up, and it's, 40 bottles of fucking booze lined up. And like, all right, that's the before picture. Click. Yeah. The after picture was
like the camera's cracked, the camera lens is cracked. You see like a splatter of blood, or something, and sky and water.
Yeah, there's this one guy with an axe dripping on the camera. The first morning or the first day we went out fishing, I didn't bring a fishing pole. I didn't even get a fishing license. I was on a camping trip. 4 of the guys were on a fishing trip, or 2 of the guys really, because they went out and caught us fish every day. First day, 2 casts, pulled up a smallmouth bass right off the shore, and all right, this is gonna be fun. Then they went out fishing, just the 2 of them, and basically went out back into that wind. And they couldn't even troll. They were moving so fast with the wind down the lake. And they're like, we have to stop because we have to go back into this to get home.
Meanwhile, back in camp,
we're...
did you hear what he said to me?
We're exhausted and making riot punch.
That's really rude of him not to throw wood on this fire.
No, meanwhile, back in camp, we're making riot punches out of and all kinds of good drinks.
Are we on day 2 yet?
This is day 1. Day 2 and day 3 and day 4, they all kind of run together.
Yeah, because the podcast's only so long, so we should probably...
Oh, sure. All right, well, day 3, we went and saw this awesome waterfall. We took a couple portages and went swimming in this big-ass waterfall. It was great. Met a guy who had been out there for 6 weeks by himself. Just a manly man doing it. And he was carrying his kayak down the trail, barefoot on these rocks. We're like, look at this guy. Huge beard. And he's like, I got 3 more weeks to go. I'm having fun. Wow. All right, that's cool, man.
How do you not clash for that long?
He doesn't even know what it is. He doesn't know. It's like an app, like an application for my
collect your loot,
my cellular phone.
Yeah.
So we stayed there and we bumped and jumped, take a bump, jump off the cliff.
Okay.
I did a bump, and then we got to the cliff, and then one day we were like, look at that cliff over there. Did you guys see that? We all got in the canoes with some liquor and went over to this huge cliff, and we're doing jumps and flips off of that. Like, all right, drank all our liquor and come back. Caught a lot of the guys. Finally found a nice honey hole behind an island, so there's no wind, and caught a ton of walleye. So we ate awesomely. Yeah, ate all kinds of good food and had a lot of fun, man. And then coming home, we were going to come home Saturday, but we thought, if the wind changes and we got to fight all that. We should do it. We should go halfway. We should leave Friday
because we don't want to wait for Boneyard to get there.
Well, that was the thing. I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm getting back in that thing. I brought a boat. I'm in my boat. Like I don't care. You guys can. You guys can roll
pickle.
You guys can roll dice for who has to go in the pickle and who has to ride with me. But I'm going in the Argo. That's it.
Yeah.
And did that, so on the way out,
I sat in the shitty canoe all the way here. Right. I'm not sitting in that shitty canoe all the way back.
And the two guys that weren't, they were like, okay, well, I guess we have to, but coming home, we left on Friday and the wind was in our favor. It was crazy. It was actually windier than when we came in. We basically literally sailed back. You hold your paddles up. I was holding my hoodie open, and the wind catches it, and you just fly down the water. We probably cut our time like a quarter of the time to get back.
Top of the world.
And we ended up making it back so far.
Did you guys try to race each other by who could catch the
most
wind?
When we went to the waterfall, I was in the Argo with Jeremy with Dirty Undies. And we were coming through this pass where it bottlenecks the current and the wind in the same direction. And on his GPS, it shows how fast we're going. And we paddled as hard as we could, and we got it up to 5.4 miles per hour, unloaded. So that was definitely the fastest anybody's been in a long time.
In the history of the world.
I mean, that's a good sprint. That's a real fast sprint. It was.
You must have set a record.
For us, yeah. Well, we were the only ones keeping track, I guess, so it didn't matter.
You were like, all of a sudden, like, I wonder if we'd be on the leaderboard.
Yeah. Well, I better check in.
Yeah. So
we sailed back, but the guys in the pickle had a hard time because now, at least they were going faster, but those huge waves meant that they were getting swamped in the back because the wave would hit them and it would push them forward, and then they basically go up, and then the front end would go up, and then the back end would travel down and backwards down into the bottom of that wave. And he's paddling. He's like, every time he's like, am I going to get a big douche in the ass and then sink? Like this might happen. Paddle. And we got so far so fast that we ended up being like, we are almost to the trucks. Instead of camping, and we were out of booze. That's the other thing. We ran out of booze.
We are not getting stuck out here.
Well, we had enough booze to do some more bumping. We had a couple there, like one bottle for bumping and jumping, and then we would just we were almost out of food, so we had to pool all our food together and do
I will not do this sober.
And it was like, do we just camp for one night just to wait till tomorrow? I mean, do we? Because it's still the morning.
Or can we make it to the liquor store?
Or should we get to the truck and then we could camp at the campsite at the Gunflint, but drive in and get beer and steaks and stay there one more night? Or we could just get to the trucks and just drive to Grand Marais and get beer and cheeseburgers and then go home.
I know which one wins.
Yeah,
beer and cheeseburgers.
Yeah, beer and cheeseburgers won.
Yeah,
and it was kind of a split vote. And then they're like, "Nah, fuck it, let's just go." And we went home. So I ended up getting home at 10:30 at night instead of in the afternoon the next day.
And what was happening with Boneyard when you got back?
With Boneyard and with Player One.
Yeah, because
so I'm gone for
you like
a week.
That little segue. But now I'm
nice. Now we're back to Clash. That was my trip to Vanderbilt, man.
We now rejoin.
Undies was clashing before Grand Marais. As soon as he was driving, and as soon as he got there, he's like, "So we're clashing already." And so I get home and I find out that.
Wait, what did you do in preparation? Because before you find, what was your strategy?
Yeah, I got that here. Before I left, before I lost connection, before I left the house, I left my iPad at home. With Boneyard, I started the Queen to 19. I started the Dark Spell lab to haste. I got the third upgrade, maxed that out, and I started a Archer Tower. And then I spent all the rest of it on wall pieces.
Okay.
And so I had nothing. I had no resources to lose.
Okay.
And then I put it on my push. The town hall's inside my push base.
Yeah, but is your push base pretty much like your Boneyard war base?
Kind of, but I moved some. It's a little different. There's a little different. So
it's you got to come in. And you can't get in here.
The dark elixirs.
Does that still work?
The dark elixirs in the middle. You know, the storages are moved so that they're a little more centered.
But is your like war base still working?
Yeah. I get 2-star occasionally. Wow. You know, rarely, and that's always after at least 2 attacks. You know, people come in at the bottom, unless they're maxed out and with their maxed out heroes. It works pretty good. I don't know. It's just as good as anything else, really. You know.
Yeah, it's just different. I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, I guess.
It's just all spread out, and then with that one,
maybe I did see it the other night.
The storages are used for blocking and for bottlenecking. Whereas for my push, I moved them they're in the middle.
Okay, so
I did that. So I spent everything down, and I started upgrading a bunch of shit, and I'll be done when I get back. Awesome. While I'm gone, Lady B is using my iPad, and she was going in and collecting for me.
Okay,
and she was donating. And it was like, "Oh, Boneyard, aren't you supposed to be?" And she's like, "Oh, no, it's Lady B." And they're like, "Oh, hey," you know. And she was talking to people. So she was collecting and then refilling my. And I don't know if she was leaving the tombstones or not, but that would have been cool, like a whole board full of tombstones, but everything's charged.
Yeah,
and refilling my expos and things like that, and then collecting for me. So when I came back, I had like 1.5 mil of each already, you know, and things were full, and I put it inside. I went from Boneyard went from Gold 2 to Masters 2. Skipped Crystal entirely. Yeah.
My God!
Went up 3 leagues, you know, or 2 leagues, I guess. Player one I had in the car, and I was clashing on the way up there, and player one I ended up gemming the queen. Because I had Dark Elixir, and I didn't get enough to get the queen on the board. So I spent some of player one's gems so I wouldn't lose any Dark Elixir while I was gone. And I got the queen out there, defending. And I started. I think I was starting.
So player one just went to 9
a little while ago. So I think I was starting, and then I also started the Tesla and an air defense to go up, like my new ones.
Yeah,
and because they weren't, they're mid range. I think that was it. And then I spent the rest of his money on walls. I spent it down to 0, and I put the base inside. And he went from Silver 1 to Crystal 3. So that's hundreds, that's like 800, I don't know, it's 1,000 trophies over the week. It was ridiculous. And I just turned it on, I'm like, all right. I turned it on, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't even look at that number. I'm like, oh, that's a lot. And
I wonder how many defenses I wonder. Well, you know what? I've seen it, though, because I pushed while you were gone. And when I pushed, I rode the defensive train, and I would it would show up as being I don't know, 200 or no, 128. And then I'd look and I go, no, that was more than that. So you might not even seen the right screen. But I wonder how many times you got hit.
A lot, but 12-hour. The town hall is inside, and people
you can't see it because it jumped leagues, right?
Right, and
defense.
And the thing is, people were coming in for my collectors because they were all on the outside. Okay. So every attack I would win. I should have.
Okay,
I should have. Player one. I should have written down
player one and Boneyard.
Boneyard, the collectors are inside because of the outer wall, but on both of them, I went up a lot. But on player one, you think, oh, you get a 16-hour thing. Well, then I would only get attacked I don't know, 2 dozen or a dozen times or 15 times in 7 days or something like that.
Yeah.
A little maybe less than that. But I kept winning because people just come in and clean out my collectors and boot, and that was fine. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't really, I came back to medium-filled collectors and a ton of trophies. It was ridiculous.
Does it? You know what? You should have looked in. One way to do it would be the achievements. To if you were looking at the achievement before you went.
I didn't do any of that. I'm like, I
know. I should. I'm like, how could you get around that to see? Yeah, you probably
just look at. Look at how many wins and losses I've had on my achievements. Yeah,
how many wars did you win while you were? Just put you in the war.
Yeah.
Who didn't even try, and he won. He won the war.
Yeah. Look at that! I got some stuff. And I also got player one's. I think I got him to Earthquake. And so player one was set up to do his thing. Right now, player one isn't anywhere. He wasn't even in a clan. I went over to the house of L just to chit-chat before I left for, like, I don't know, maybe I was there for a day or 12 hours or something.
I was like, we're not probably have to ask. Yeah. I don't know if it was people that were...
Because you were full. I had an invite pending, and I kept looking at it like, oh, they're full. I'm like, because he wasn't in a clan forever, for a long time, and I had an invite from you guys, and I'm like, well, they're full, and then finally I'm like, oh, I'm going in. They only got 49, and like, hey guys, what's happening? Blah 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 blah. And then,
what's your trophies at? And I'll lower this.
Oh yeah, I gotta pull that up. Hold on. And talk with you guys for a little bit. Talk with the gang. And then I was like, hey, I'm going on vacation, so I'm out. Boot me, or I'm just gonna leave. See ya. And I was freewheeling in the global while I was gone. Let's see. My trophies are 1967.
Okay.
I should have enough. I'm in the freaking Crystal's Reef.
Yeah, I just...
Clan, bookmarks.
Hold on, I got
House of L.
Open. Join. Oh my God, the other day someone accidentally hit the... Now you can do it. Somebody accidentally hit the anyone can join button, and within I don't know, I was just looking at the chat. It must have been one right after the other. Just joined, and then had to go around kicking people.
Yeah, were you new? Do I recognize your name? Shit. Yeah, that's funny.
Because then we had just had a couple people join, and we had been doing that America War that I can talk about. But
yeah, we're going to get to that. That's on the list too.
So I pushed when I went. When you were gone, or right around that time.
Okay.
We did, Houseville did it for a week, and it was kind of fun, because I got to start working with different the different war armies.
Sure.
And I was actually doing a lot of practicing of war attacks, and just kind of trying out things and hitting a base that I would, that you see in war a lot.
Sure.
And so I got some good practice, and I made it up to 2480 something. 3480. So I got to champs, and then I just needed to get my things cooking and get elixir and
stop pushing,
and I started
start raiding.
Yeah, and then I was farming masters for a little bit, and on my way back down, and then a big thing happened was the SOAS did a dark elixir competition.
The push, right, or the rating.
So in a week, how much dark elixir can you go? And it would take me a minute to pull this up, but Aaron won with over 500,000 dark elixir.
Nice.
And that was
crazy. That's a crazy amount too.
And I think that was Papa Smurf was right behind him. And I actually was in second place for the 10s, I believe.
Huh. Well, you were always talking about last time, last couple, maybe we talked about
350,000.
Wow, in a week.
Yeah.
So, one of your heroes are maxed out?
No. I'm where the hell did this all go? I think right at the beginning, I had just put my, an earthquake down to 2.
Sure.
Or to 3. And I'm okay, now I'll farm it up. And I can't remember how it went, but I put... I had enough. I put the king down, and then I put the queen down.
Sure.
Or no, I don't know how it worked. It was I had one down, and I had to. I put the queen down twice. That's what I did. I got her, and I had a gemmer for the America War.
Uh-huh.
But it gemmed the last half day, day of her. And then was saving up for that next level. So I did get a queen and a half.
It's pretty good out of there. Yeah, plus, some...
so I was using, the earthquake spells.
Sure.
You were
spending it.
I was taking, $3K, at least, a raid. And I'd win, so I'd get the bonus, because I was a Masters. And then I don't know, it was okay, I'm going to stop spending Dark Elixir. I don't know where this is going. But I'd have to hit, 3,000. And then I think I'd make a bunch with the bonus, but... Yeah. So it was I was using it a lot. I was going up, but I was I should have been able to put the king and the queen down, and the queen again with that much money.
Yes, but you're also spending a lot to get that, to get those wins anyway.
Yeah. So I now, after that's done, I'm just like back to Dark Elixir.
Where's your kings and queens now?
My queen's going to 24.
Nice.
And my king's at 23.
Nice.
So, and she's got 5 days, and I've got 80 grand Dark Elixir.
Oh, you're ready for the next one.
I think I might just put the king down.
Yeah.
If I hit, I want my heroes down constantly now.
Why not?
I'm getting really tired of this. I've got max troops. That's the one thing, like in war, that's really holding me back is like
the heroes.
Yeah, the heroes. Because
we need a third hero. Super
and it is fun to play the different levels, and I hate having a hero down, but sometimes it's like I like the challenge of it, even though I fail.
We need a green elixir now for a new.
Yeah,
we call it the juice.
But where you liked the challenge of it a little bit, where you're like, without my hero, can I take this?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
handicapping yourself and seeing if you can still get the wins and stuff like that.
So, because I know I got to do it, and I'm not
for war, but yeah,
I would love to be able to gem the time, but I really can't.
Where are you at now? What you doing now with Scotty?
Well, that's what I'm doing. Is just I'm doing.
What about
Britney Spears?
Britney Spears? Yeah. Britney Spears.
Yeah. So I'm just you'll be hearing me on the podcast for the next 12 weeks, hopefully, talking about how it sucks to have heroes down. Because for a long time, I barely did.
And then 12 weeks, you'll have max heroes and be like, fuck you guys.
That'd be nice if I could just
that'd be tough.
sit for that.
So how is Britney Spears?
Britney is a lazy hogger.
Yeah.
She's just
still,
collecting.
She's still 8?
Yeah, she's 8. So she's just collecting, and I am all right with that. And I'm funneling it into research, and I'm keeping the tax down more by keep my tax down by putting all the gold into walls. So I'll keep my elixir and my dark elixir.
Put that in.
I'm saving my dark elixir.
Put that in research and stuff you can do with your elixir. Yeah. Right on.
And I think at that point where all the offense is done, I would take her to 9 and start to play that side of the game a little bit. I don't want to spend forever at TH8 and and then I'll go to TH9 and.
Yeah, start at 8.5.
Yeah,
start at the little.
Just see
things.
what that's like, because I haven't never experienced.
Okay, here's what sucks is what I experienced with Player One, because you are now matched more often with your own town hall level. Remember that update? 8.5 is fucking bullshit, because you're not hitting 8s and 7s. You're getting hit by 9s. You're getting by guys that are already mid or upper range 9s. You're getting more. You're more likely to get matched by 9, and they see this 8.5, which is basically just an 8, and they come in and just wipe it out. Like more often than not, when I come back.
Because you're a 9, they're more likely to get the matchup.
Yeah,
and they're more likely to get pounded.
To pound me. I got the town hall outside, but I can't save anything.
Is that what's happening with Player One?
Yeah, that was what happened before I spent everything down. I couldn't save anything because they would just come in and take it. They could get right to the middle.
On the next episode, how not to get decimated when going to 8.5.
Just go for it. I'm like, I got to put more shit on the board. I got to change some things. I got to put. Of course, I don't have my walls right now. I still have one big long line of walls on the side.
You have skull walls?
No.
I started mine.
And I need to. I have all blue walls and some purple walls still from the new 25 that I had.
I did think about pushing with her.
I thought interesting. Yeah.
I thought it would be kind of cool to push and see how far I could take her up. We're at 39. See how far I could take her up. Like if I could get her to champ. I don't know if I would, and if I could do it without playing her a lot.
Cool.
Where I could check in, maybe do a raid or two.
And you just got to
do a slow push.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And
especially because she's only on my phone.
And I got five builders down. I only got like 2 million of each, 30 grand of dark elixir. I had nothing. I'm on my way back up to starting to do some new shit. Queen's at 19, so I'm really pushing for dark elixir. When I'm raiding with her, I'm not using minions anymore. I'm trying to use a little bit more using more elixir in my army to get a better army so I can hit the shit. And now that I'm up in champs, right? Masters. No. I'm in Masters. Masters 2, the gray one. I always think, don't you think that Master is better than a champion? You're a champion, you win, but you're the master of everything.
I know. I don't. And then the 3-2-1. That does. It seems like it's. Yeah, it's weird to me sometimes.
And then you got Titan. Hey, news on Titan in the K-Fam. Our boy Eggley,
K-Fam.
Johnny Big Leg hit the Titan. That was a big thing. I came back from my trip, and I had 3,500 line messages. I'm like, oh my god. So I looked on the chats and I'm like, oh, here's a couple that only have 30. Okay, look at that. Then I got multiple chats going on. Or from any individuals, I'm like, I'll address those first.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this has, the House of Zod chat has 999 mail. I'm like, oh god, I'm not reading out. I'm like, I'm back. What did I miss? Actually, I spun down. I just kept spinning down it, looking for pictures. Okay, maybe there's some funny pictures or something happening. Oh, this is a base. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. Oh, that's funny. And then going down through it. But I got caught up to what was happening. The House is out. And I last time when we talked, the episode we lost, we were doing what was up with the L and what was Zod, what was happening. I want to find out what's up with you guys, not only from that episode, but now since I've been gone. But first, the stuff that was back then, House of Zod, we made, it was a big achievement. We made our 100th win.
Nice.
Which was Bangarang. That was our 22nd win in a row, which is now our high record because we lost the next war by one or two stars, which was a bitch. Of course, that was so long ago. We made 100. Now we're at 114.
Oh, nice.
We're at 14 in a row now. We're trying to get back to 22 and beyond. I looked at the thing. We have 3 red lines on our board. I'm like, if we win 3 more, we'll only have. No, we have 4 red lines. If we win 3 more wars, we'll only have 3 red lines and no more gray lines. Okay. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. Wouldn't it be cool to just see nothing but green lines on there? That'll take forever. With our 100th win, I want to give a big up to Ronald McDonald, the clan Ronald McDonald that was on that last episode. We beat them 92-91 out of 95. Out of 105. I think we had 35 each. Out of 105, they were just a great clan. It was a great matchup. Really, everybody they were playing kind of the same way you. They were sandbagging towards the end, doing the math and. Yeah. You could tell, and then they came over and we went over there and we were talking back and forth. And on the description it was, "Hey, good luck. This looks like a good matchup," because it was really even, town hall levels and stuff. And we were like, "Yeah, awesome." In our description, "Hey, good luck to you," and this and that. And then it came down to it, and it was really down to some serious, awesome warring on both sides. And we just snuck it through by one. In the last minute, there was probably 5 battles, probably 3 battles going on each side, and by the skin of our teeth, we pulled that off, and that was win number 17 in a row, number 98 or something like that. We're like, oh, we're so close, yes, I really got it to it. So big up to Ronald McDonald. What else I got on my list? Okay, so while I was gone, what's new with Scotty? We covered that. Well, new with L or new with Zod. We're still warring. We're warring a little bit less now. I think we're doing 30, 25, and 30. It looks like while I was gone. People in a war. What is new? We did update stuff, and what is new with you guys?
Yeah, first,
what is new with?
I just want to mention
you guys were doing push. What else is going on with any
the
of
push?
The
I have
plans?
to mention a couple of winners from the push.
Okay,
Dirty Pirate. I was chasing him for a while,
and that was just in the House of L, just trophy push.
Just trophy push. I dry barched and added belts, and then I added
dry barched. Is that what you just
dry
said?
barched?
Dry barched. Okay.
To champs. Then I did the
fucking dry bars.
I dry barged all over the place.
I didn't get any lotions or potions.
Dry barged my pants.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got up there and just was kind of pushing to see what I could do with the troops and keep it cheap with Dark Elixir and stuff. And so I went up and but we had a couple other contests going on. Clash of Clams. Won the most donated troops, which was...
Wasn't that a joke we were saying way back in episode 2?
Maybe.
Wait, what's this game called for girls? Clash of Clams or some stupid thing. That was a joke. I'm pretty sure that was episode 3 or something like that.
He was just on the nerding out one.
That's funny.
And he won the most donations with over 10,000.
That's crazy.
I think... and it went way... I can't remember where it topped at, so I don't want to and there was just everybody was getting that race. It was crazy. And then so Dirty Pirate is the winner, and then it was Papa Smurf, I believe, who got the highest. He almost hit where my top was as a TH9, so he was the highest TH9 on the push.
On the push, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, and then what's been coming up was we did in America.
Yeah, right. Now this happened, and it just
yesterday.
happened. And it just got over.
I'm still ineligible for more, and with good.
It was America versus the world, right? Everybody was. It started off Britain, but then it was like everybody in. So, how did that go? I wasn't involved in it. I wasn't in it, but it sounds like we didn't do that great.
You know what? It was
what was the final score?
It was 42-46. Okay, so it was America versus international.
Yeah.
Okay.
The world.
Yeah, the world. And it was supposed to be like
normally.
It was originally going to be like
a
Britain versus America, and then we should have done that 4th of July. I mean, really,
that'd been a good one. Yeah.
That's a perfect 4th of July thing. It's like
we'd have to win.
You'd have to do British.
We'd have to lock that shit up.
I know. I said to them, I go, I've seen The Patriot. We know how this ends.
Mel Gibson in The Patriot?
Yeah.
Braveheart 2? I love that one. So, Braveheart 2, Mel Gibson...
he didn't die at the end.
Yeah, he fights everybody...
He found the Fountain of Youth.
From the British, and it's Braveheart 2.
Or he's a vampire.
And then there's that movie where he is Braveheart 3, where it's he's...
Apocalypto?
Well, there's that one, but he's not in that.
Oh, yeah,
he's some Marine or something. It's not Angry Red Lions. I don't know what it's called.
Okay. So we were gonna match, right? So Tip Dog and RM and a bunch of guys got together and really worked on the numbers. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting who else was in on this. It started as an idea, and really quickly we were like, let's do it this weekend. And so they crunched the numbers. And we're gonna try to match. They got it all right, and then it didn't match.
Oh,
it was, and it looked like they were identical. I think it was.
Well,
we don't really quite know what it was.
44 to 46? How did you get it?
Because it was a 20.
No, I mean...
Or no, what was it? How many... Was it 15?
That would be 45.
Yeah, I guess I can't see the war log.
So how did you score that?
Oh, so we didn't match. So we were going to go by most stars, I think. But in our war, it was...
Wasn't a great matchup?
No, it was tough. It was surprisingly tough, and so it looked close. I think these bases are getting weird. Maybe I just thought it was tough. I thought, well, of course, I did 39%. 39%. Oh my God! It was like the worst. You know what it was though? The first attack. I clicked the jump, dropped it, and let my army, go, and I clicked. Go to the next thing, click then, shit, my jump spell didn't deploy. Click again, and then it didn't go, click again, and then that happened with my freeze like one time. I was like, click, rage, that didn't work. Oh,
some sort of glitch where you weren't able to
We're hearing a lot about that, like people that are...
I heard something about where you can't switch off of your thing, like you can't switch over to something else. Or somebody's like, well, the side of this base is fully healed because I was trying
even on, like, I'll be on TeamSpeak doing it, and I'll be like trying to, hit my button, and it wouldn't select. Not that time. It's just been weird with and I've been hearing a lot about it. I'm starting to wonder if it's like maybe I shouldn't be on TeamSpeak when I'm...
I don't know, because maybe it's just a glitch
because of around. Internet. If you're not getting enough signal,
who knows?
I don't know.
That sucks though.
Yeah,
it's a game ruiner.
Maybe that would make sense. 39%,
huh?
Shut down your internet, your stuff on your phone. Maybe that would help it if you're taking too much data. At one time.
Right. I know what you mean.
Second attack, I had a plan.
You had a plan,
and he had a plan.
And what was said plan?
My said plan was to quake from the backside of this base that is like, one of the southern teasers, where they got most of the stuff. And I was like, I think with 4 golems and that quake, I can use, and the CC was right in the center. And so I was like, I can quake on that CC and instead of using 2 jumps because it's going to take off almost a quarter. Or 20% of the hit points. I'm like, that'll get me even easier access.
Okay.
And And so I had a plan, and I was like, okay, I think this is it. I got on TeamSpeak. I'm like, hey, guys, what do you think about this plan? And I think Clams was suspicious because he just kind of got a little quiet.
Okay.
He's like, well, don't you think this? And he's like, okay. And I'm like, normally he would like be. So I think he thought this was a horseshit plan, but he didn't tell me.
How did it work?
Well, horseshit. 39% horseshit.
Yeah.
And then so Itachi came on though, and I was talking with him, and I went through it, and he's a really, really great attacker. You know, he knows what he's talking about. He goes, no, this is going to take this, and he's strategist. His strategy's awesome. And he's like, here's where I would come in, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I'm like, that makes sense, you know. And I was like, but I thought my plan would really work.
So you decided to go with your plan.
And he goes, you know what? He goes, you know what? I think you should do your plan. He's like, you've been thinking about it. You really thought, you know, and we all need to fail. And he didn't quite say it like that, like, but the way he said it was like, you know, if you fail, it's all right. Like, he's just like, but you've got your plan, and that's what we learned from.
You try that plan, because I'm going to try my plan, and once you fail, and I'm going to.
No, he's a 9. I mean, but he knows his stuff, and he's like 70% of the resources are here, and I was like, yeah, but if I can, this might be something. Stand back. I think this is going to be something. And so he's like, but you know, you should go for it. I'm like, look, we're in this America war. If we would have actually got, if we would have got paired with it would have been a different story.
Much more, yeah, right.
And I wanted to get my queen down because I had like 140,000 dark elixir, and I wanted to get her in right away so that way I could get her put down again.
Sure.
So
get that attack over so you can put her down.
So we didn't strategize that much, you know, but where we're going to attack. And I thought, you know, in this war, if I fail on this, it's not a big deal. It's not going to be our war record.
And that's the thing. It's not. It's just you didn't match, so who cares?
Yeah.
You know, do your best, and
but I got to try that when
perfect
it didn't really matter.
Perfect time to try something that you're not sure about.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter to anybody's record. You're not actually matched. You know, if you lose, who cares? You get
But I do believe it was Spank the Yanks that won.
That was the name of their clan. What was the name of the American clan?
Liberty or Death.
Death, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Die on your sword or your enemies.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I would have called them, but
I guess something like that. America.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be called because it was the America War.
United States of ass kickery.
So you wanted to? So you haven't seen the spells?
No. So I want to know. Like, I just had a question. Earthquake. How is that working? Do wall breakers go after the weaker walls? That was some of the stuff that we were speculating on, and hasn't been around. And I've seen some of it. Poison obviously works great for CCs, right?
Yeah.
We changed. I come back and all the CCs to be filled are all dragons and Valks and higher hit point things.
The table?
Yeah. Whoops. You know, they're all higher hit point stuff. Like, okay, we're putting dragons in now. Okay, I'll make a bunch. And that was another thing. I came back and I'm like, okay, it's all. I just set it up to make a bunch of witches before we even match. You know, made a bunch of witches like I normally do, and a bunch of this. And I go, and as it goes on, I'm like, nobody wants these witches. Like, and I'm like, okay, well, the 3 witches that are needed, now I have 12 of them. All right, well, who wants them? Okay. And then I was like, okay. But it was already almost filled by the time I started because I'd been gone, and I was so used to filling it, and other people come in and fill it out. But I'm always just on top of it because I like, you know, I don't, boom, put it up. But I've been gone, and everybody's just doing it. You know, everybody's working together. So I get on there, I'm like, oh shit, I'll make all these dragons then. Okay, and I'm finishing it out, and like, fucking thanks guys, all right. And so now when I'm going, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to make a whole horde, 12 dragons, and then dump them in a line right down the thing.
Yeah.
Do it again, and then we can fill in from there.
That was hard in that level 1 clan because we couldn't get max dragons in CCs.
That sucks. Yeah, that sucks.
So I think that I don't want to say that put us at a disadvantage, but
what
I think
level?
They were 4.
What they were 4?
Yeah.
You were
wait, no. So they couldn't either.
Well,
right.
Oh, the guys
upgrades at 5.
The guys could have max dragons, and you could give out max if you had max dragons.
Because I thought I thought I saw max dragons in the CC. Maybe I was wrong.
Well,
But anyways,
the upgrade, the troop upgrade, that was 5. That was that.
Yeah, it was 5.
Everybody's pushing for 5 because then you get that upgrade.
So,
but yeah, if somebody had max dragons, they can get them out. That's simple.
The one nice thing was in that war, I had just tweaked my base. Like we got TeamSpeak, and it is awesome. It's like making like our strategizing.
I've heard it's good.
And then we sat there like one night and we were tweaking my base, just looking at it, and I was like, well, what about this over here? And it just made a few tweaks. And I don't know if this is responsible for it or if they were this, kind of attacker or whatnot, but I had 2 donuts on me. They didn't get any stars. And then they got a 2.
Sure. Well, they figured it out. If 3 attacks, that's a win.
Yeah, but that almost never happens. I mean, I don't think it's ever happened in a long time that I had 2 people fail on me. I mean, I'm lucky to get 1, and then I was lucky to just get 1 starred. It was like I'd been tweaking it a little bit, and so it was rare. You knew it was a really good clan, like a really good clan, when they were 2-star yet. Most of the time, some people could do it, but
really good attacker.
Yeah, really good attacker.
Clan is,
but it was like that across.
Base the one apple for the bushel and all that kind of thing. But
because I'll get 1 starred in like the top, like DP will get 1 starred or something. If if it's the 2s up top,
yeah, if they're getting it up there, then they're putting up the stars.
Yeah.
So those spells, so we don't know if wall breakers go for.
You know what? I didn't really test it.
It's not a thing yet. Okay. Earthquakes are the shit, though. I mean, you just open up a whole bunch of space and just run your shit in.
I think it's a can of worms, right? Because you've been gone, so it's like, people are like, what to upgrade the earthquake, and so we've been talking a lot about that.
I think the poison you max it out, right? Because that works on the CCs. That
but it's not. It doesn't. It's kind of like that's going to. But mostly, like if you got the dragon right now, those things. The big ones, so it's like if you got a pig dog and you've got a dragon, is the poison that effective?
Probably not. I guess probably not.
You can,
not. But if it's
they're great for the skellies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe they would be good. There was a spaceman did an attack, and like the king and the skellies were following the hogs.
Yeah.
And he didn't quite get there, and I thought, and it works on the skellies because I learned that because Brittany's doing hog attacks now.
You bring that poison, so once the skellies start walking around and they start picking up all them hangers on, even little CC guys that maybe last. Like
but here's what I was thinking, and watching that king, because those kings come untethered to chase that one hog till he dies. But I was like, what if you lure the CC, and this is on an 8, and you're doing a hog attack or something. What if you were? What if you just kill the CC and you path the hogs or get them or where the king, if he chases them, it'll be at the end, so the skellies and the king slows down.
Sure.
Because that speed decrease has got to take time away from him hitting the hogs. Right?
Yeah, right. And they're hitting shit and running away. If they, you get it so that he's
at that critical junction
where he's got a massive hogs that he's whacking away at. Get that thing to keep him there, slow him down,
and then
at the
same time,
run out.
And at the same time, where the most likelihood there would be of skellies.
Sure.
So maybe you could give you a little bit more of a boost because then you wouldn't have to heal as fast.
Now, also, do you drag the CC out? Like you get CC out, and then you bring them over to where the king is.
Well, there's been drags,
and then you don't put anything else on the board. So you just put the poison out. Your CC will just stand there.
Yeah.
If there's nothing to hit.
Yeah.
You just drop the poison on them and wait.
My favorite is to watch the archers walk through it.
Yeah.
Because they just disappear.
Poisoned and they're dead.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. What about haste? Anybody using that? What's the story with that?
I've seen some good attacks with it.
And is that using haste to clean up at the end? Is that because that's what we were thinking?
It's using to get balloons in faster, and then rage more in the center. Okay. So and just with pathing, it's like we're just to control it later on a little bit because let's say, I guess you're just making me think about it. Why the attack I saw was really good. It was like, well, maybe not, or the attacks I saw, the good ones, where you would see there would still be haste left, and as the balloons went, you could actually speed them up. And so maybe maybe it's about manipulating the board a little bit more.
Yeah, because that seems like you're like, I got to get these guys over there because they're getting shot at by an archer tower. They just get to the archer tower already, then they'll still be alive for the cannons and the mortar or something. You know, like they got to get over there and get that thing dead.
Yeah, even if they're over top of it, once you would do a lot of damage. So you could maybe go, I can get over top and smash. I don't know. Mine's just going to haste right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I had got it on haste. I haven't even.
I've been loving the earthquakes. I'm on level 3 earthquakes.
And those things so they just bust up a whole bunch of walls and open up a huge hole, and you just
so if you've got like a corner of 4 buildings, right? If they're all scrunched together, so like what is it, 9 tiles? If you put it dead and they're all together, and you put it dead center in that crisscross, it'll break open the walls in front into the side.
Okay.
So it's big.
Right. So that fits in there and it overlaps just enough. Now,
so you can really like bust out some cores.
What do you got to do? How many you got to drop for what?
4. So you 4 for walls for any level.
So if you have 4, you can take out zappers, like the top wall. 4.
Even level 1.
Oh. What about level maxed out earthquakes?
4.
4 of them won't take out. 3 of them won't take out a zapper. Maxed out earthquakes.
No, they will. You have to have 4.
No
you can't take out,
even max earthquakes. You have to have 4.
They're all 4.
Huh.
So, but here's the thing.
But you could get,
they take up 2 jump spots, right?
Yeah.
Why they would be better? I think if you're going in that line, and you can get in. But also, if you can do that, if you can use the earthquake and hit the high point buildings, you're getting free. It's like a jump spell that takes off, if you can touch the CC with it, it would be getting like about 20% of the health off of the town hall. Of all,
if you get the
big ones,
but the town hall you can get into the town hall.
So I think it'd be perfect, like if you get into the base and then they've got like the Inferno's walled. And then they've got like the town hall walled and they're right there. You could drop it right on the town hall, bust that all open, and take off a ton of hit points.
Even just get like the corner of it to the town hall, like the edge of it, so it hits the town hall, and then everything else along that line, in that circle,
like a CC and a town hall in the very center.
Yeah,
if that might, depending on what army you have. Like with me, like having a king down, if I could do that, I thought, if I can save or my queen down. Save like a second or 2 on the town hall.
Yeah,
that could push the attack.
It's done, and then they move on, right?
And but I wouldn't do that with dragons, obviously, But I really liked it, and so I was using that to push, and then you can make spells at the same time, so you can go raid faster.
Yeah, right. Yeah, having multiple spells ready to go.
Yeah. Instead of having 2 jumps.
Yeah,
you take Quake. This is like in farming or pushing.
And if you get 2 or 3 quakes,
that'd be instead of 2 jump.
You got to find out if the weaker, like if you use 1 quake, is that going to be a funnel for wall breakers? Will they go for it? Remember, that's what we were talking about.
And then it says
because they would go like, are they going to hit the one wall and then they're going to keep going in because they keep going for the weaker wall that's closer and closer.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you got a few wall breakers that get you all the way to the town hall.
They probably just never make it that far. That's probably the point.
You don't know. Yeah, right.
But yeah, if you had a mass of wall breakers, I'll just play with an attack.
You could probably just go out and raid it, or even you could do it on the goblin map. Just hit drop.
Just waste a ton of.
Yeah, well, just drop one on a goblin map that's closed, or at least one side of it's closed. Drop an earthquake like off to the corner, and then drop the wall breaker like in the middle, and see if he goes over there.
Yeah,
and see because make him go not in a straight line. Make him go over there, and then you can kind of test and see which one.
Damn it! I can't practice it right now because I have my haste.
You don't have it yet, right?
Yeah. So I decided I'm just going to go straight DE. I'm going to drop. Yeah. And use only elixir. And I thought, because I was loving using the earthquakes and because my armies, but I thought if I go back to just that. It's a perfect time to put my spell factory down so I can really save up for the next level of the queen and do a dark troop diet. Sometimes you just have to like rip off the Band-Aid and go for it. And because I love raiding with the dark troops. And see, like when I'm pushing and farming, or in farming up in Masters, it was like, I like spending a little bit more to.
Yeah, well, and you get a little bit more back. You get that bonus, and you get pace for itself a little bit more. It's a little bit closer to war practice. I
think I never liked barching because it was like repetitive drop. Do the thing, go to the next thing. I do like trying to wreck some things. Like I'm like, well, there's the dark elixir, and it's always like in the center or off. I'm like, let's break into this thing instead of just collector raids.
Let's go in and go after it.
Let's take some shit.
Nice. Where are we at?
We are about an hour 5. Let me. You know what? We have a couple questions.
Okay.
Should we just?
Want to do another?
Okay.
Is it good to get on? We're not speculating this time, so they can sit in the can for a second. All right. Well, yeah. Get a hold of us at ClashClansPodcast.com. And where are we at? What is the thing?
At WBSN2 Radio.
What else? I don't know.
Clash Clans Podcast.
727.
42427.
Well, you give them my work number. Yeah, right. So 42427 Clash.
Yeah, we're just going to start off with the shout-outs in the next episode.
We'll come up with some shout-outs.
It'll be easier editing, too.
There's a little bit of Take a Piss because some new shit's out and what's trending and what's happening.
Yeah.
All right. Keep it clashy, everybody. We'll be back in a minute.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.